Welcome, everyone. This is Debbie Mayberry with National Kitchen and Bath Association. You're here for our second webinar of the month, and today's session is called Small Space Design. Make the most of your square footage with functional hardware. And we want to also thank Bloom for their generous sponsorship for the month of July for all of our webinars. And the people that will be presenting are both from Bloom today, Pascal Rock, who's the Marketing Product Manager with Bloom, and then Sarah Reap, who recently joined Bloom. She's a certified master kitchen and bath designer, and she is the Senior Director of Design and Product Sales. And I want to welcome you both, and we are ready to get started. Thank you so much.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Pascal Rock, and I'm looking forward to guide you through our learning session today and sharing some insight into our work in the field of small space design. A little bit of information about myself before we begin. I'm originally from Austria, so there's the accent from you might hear. I've been with Bloom for 10 years, and before I moved to the States a few years ago, I worked at Bloom's corporate headquarters in Austria in the research and development department, designing and optimizing functional hardware. From there, I transitioned to researching industry trends, both globally and within the US market. After moving to the States, I assumed responsibility for the development of Bloom in the home, as well as Bloom's design solutions for small spaces, bringing the in-depth product knowledge and global industry insights together. My focus is to connect our research, our advanced design projects, such as small space design, and to learn more about the American market, the consumers who might use our products, and also to understand you, our designers who work with consumers. Eventually, I will move back to Austria and bring all the insights of the US market closer back to the development of new Bloom products for future needs. Bloom likes to have its employees worldwide learn about different markets, cultures, the people, and how they live at home. That enables all of us to contribute to the company in many ways, and I'm happy for this opportunity to gain these first-hand insights and to share some of them with you today.
Hi, I'm Sarah Reap, an expert in home design through the lens of kitchen and bath and face frame and frameless cabinet making. For the past 30 years, my focus has been on business development, new product design, marketing, and sales. Joining Bloom as their Senior Director of Design and Product Sales is a perfect next step professionally. I can't think of a better fit for me in my career than to be a part of the Bloom's global family. Working within a well-established brand and top-quality products allows me to contribute to their commitment to growth while supporting an industry I love. In this new role for Bloom, I will build a team which will focus on building the Bloom brand within the kitchen and bath dealer and designer channel. The design and product sales team will bring Bloom closer to the design community with the intention to provide support and deliveries specifically for dealers and their designers. Experiences will center around home design, quality functional hardware differences, and the Bloom brand. Ultimately, our design and sales team will assist in business growth, design, and elevating your own brand in order to sell more quality projects with inspiring ideas and solutions.
We would like to thank our sponsor, Bloom, for this webinar again. Both Sarah and I are based at Bloom US, close to Charlotte, North Carolina, where we manufacture our Bloom products of hinges, concealed runners, and other products specific for the US kitchen and bath industry. We've been manufacturing and delivering innovative solutions in the US for the last 43 years, since 1977. And now let's dive into the webinar right away.
We are pleased to have you join us for this learning. During this session, you will gain inspiring ideas for small space design. We have 3 case studies to illustrate options to consider. We will show you design applications that utilize or eliminate wasted space so you can see inventive ways to get the most of every inch possible with a small space design. And we will show you how to make home spaces and the cabinetry in these areas more successful through using the right functional hardware to support small space design, which needs solutions that are multi-purpose and multifunctional.
We would like to provide you with a quick overview how we split the presentation up to show you all the steps in making the most of your square footage with functional hardware. First, we would like to show you what kind of research we are doing and how we apply that to small space design. After that, we're showing you case studies and cabinet solutions we came up with to provide you with design inspirations.
And lastly, we will share with you our recommendations for how to build your own design inspirations with your local resources. Pascal, before we get into the details, you work with a wide range of team members across the world for developing new solutions. Would you please explain how the topic small space design became a passion for our company, which informed us for this session?
Of course, Sarah. When it comes to our research, we spend time looking at all the trends that are emerging around the world. We look at new designs and what demand exists out there, but more importantly, we also look at what is about to come and what kind of challenges we might have to face in the future. For example, how might the world look like in 5, 10, or even 20 years from now on? And how will the way we work and live change? And how might housing look like in the years to come? On this map, you can see some of the locations we're based in and where we conduct research on important local as well as global trend topics. Being situated all over the world helps us to address topics based on the needs of each market individually or on a big scale.
So you take all your global expertise and cross-pollinate the learnings. That's impressive. As a designer, I see this kind of worldview as an essential connection for design. A global view is more available to all of us today due to technology. For example, we freely see designs across the globe through sources such as Instagram on our smartphones. Having a broader view than where we live and work is helpful to ignite possibilities for our own design inspiration thinking. It's true, how people use their kitchens and baths inform us as designers and engineers. Our installers think and approach working with frame and frameless cabinetry to bring such a unique and additional perspective for developments that solve using and make cabinetry a better experience. Having satisfied clients is so vital for our sustainability.
When designing new products and services, each single innovation has to benefit everyone who uses them. That's why we are in a constant dialogue with our customers. We use their feedback to develop new product ideas. Because we're a global company and have touchpoints around the world, we're able to learn from a wide range of resources, such as our direct customers, those who manufacture the cabinetry, and our industry dealers and designers closest to the end consumer, designing, selling, and servicing their kitchen or bath projects, all the way to the end consumers, those who use the products every day in their homes. Our products deliver added value, enhanced ergonomics, and user convenience cabinetry throughout the home.
And of course, the kitchen and bath cabinet installer who works with the products directly is an important source. Setting the cabinetry to the design and making those door and drawer adjustments to ensure a beautiful finished design. These hands-on makers are a tremendous source of information to inform us on opportunities to design, improve, and for developing new products that work better because of their craftsmanship expertise.
All these sources for inputs are key to our research that allows us to bring you this presentation today. This is our philosophy and what we consider the global customer benefit. Our research not only includes talking to end consumers, we also conduct kitchen observations. Experts visit private homes in many different countries to observe how people work in their kitchen. With these first-hand insights, we gain incredible valuable information for our work. So far, we've observed over 660 kitchens in more than 30 different countries, and with 25 of them in the United States in the last couple of years. Another big part of our research is of more technical nature. We visit customers to learn how production processes evolve and how the manufacturing staff handles our products on site. The insight gathered about the furniture and manufacturing process contributes strongly to our products. We already visited over 190 customers in more than 20 different markets. The knowledge from this research then flows back into the development of new product concepts in the form of new ideas and requirements.
Another part of our research is the workflow in the kitchen itself. To create a smooth workflow in the kitchen, it is important to ensure that distances are as short as possible and everything is just where it should be. Well-organized, full extension drawers and base cabinets bring the contents of the cabinet into full view for quick and easy access, while lift systems get doors up and out of the way. When planning a kitchen, it is important to consider daily kitchen activities to make sure your kitchen is arranged in a way that will be easy to navigate. When cabinets open easily, run smoothly, and have a soft and silent close, even when there is a lot of weight in the drawer, it's the mark of a beautiful and well-functioning kitchen. Kitchens normally last 20 years or longer, and that's why you should consider future needs when planning your kitchen designs. I understand the team found quite a few trends to consider. Why small space design?
Excellent question, Sarah. Small space design is just one of the many trend topics we established. It comes out of the mega trend of urbanization. The population of cities is growing, cities are getting bigger, and the density rises. That doesn't happen only in Asia or Europe, but also right here in the US. People might move to the cities because of lifestyle preferences like urban living, walkable communities, or for a new job opportunity. When studying the behavior in major cities, questions like the following came up. Is the status of the kitchen still the same in an urban environment? Can we reduce its size because a kitchen will not be used as much due to the different lifestyle in a city? And how can our products contribute to this trend and provide solutions for the challenges of small spaces? Just think about New York City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, or even smaller cities growing with people wanting to live close to conveniences, where living can be expensive and not everyone is able to afford a larger sized house or apartment. Whether the space is large or small, the person living there most definitely doesn't want to waste any of it. In all forms, but especially in small spaces, our application should create livable, comfortable solutions to maximize the space available. So what defines a small space, and where does small space design apply? Of course, a key factor of a small space is that it lacks the excess of square footage, may it be 800 square feet or 500 or even 300. But I think a small space cannot solely be defined by the square footage of a home, but it also needs to take the amount of people living there into account. Let's say if one person is living in an 800 square feet home, that might not be called small. But if the same person lives in a 300 square feet home, that's what we would definitely consider a small space. And think of a home that maybe has some multi-purpose rooms, like combining the bathroom and the laundry room, or a combined kitchen and dining area. Some of the furniture or cabinetry could serve multiple purposes, like for sitting and storage, or as a room divider housing storage goods. I believe that small space design can be scaled and applied to homes of any size to maximize the overall square footage available.
A small space design layout alone won't be enough to ensure success. We will need to cross-relate functional design thinking with space planning and design to support finding clever, inspiring ideas that work well for the users. Adding in motion can be a way to build in access to require less effort. Ergonomics should be considered for users at the source related to the efficiency of the use. For example, does the operation of the storage feature work and take less effort? Is the application at the right level to assist and support the person using the storage? Of course, we need to think about the storage space inside. Will it be an adequate amount? Will it be easy to use and allow for multiple items to be stored successfully? Does the solution allow for changes in long-term use? And of course, having a pleasing looking design is essential. Design applies the shape, form, and details to set the look and feel of the project. We believe addressing the function of the design early in the design process is equally important to create a design that is well suited in all ways for the user and of the design, ensuring success.
And now we would like to show you some of the case studies we worked on recently. For these case studies and this topic, we aimed for a different approach for our products and our brand, and we want to provide solutions, ideas, and inspirations. We want to have discussions about the solutions itself, and not only focus strictly on the product side of things. We pursue to collaborate and share concepts and ideas with innovative and forward-thinking customers. We came up with different applications and solutions. Part of the project was also to combine these applications into fully functional spaces rather than just showcasing isolated cabinets. These steps were taken to show how the applications could be utilized in a real-life scenario and also to spark new ideas. In the context of an urban environment, we chose to create smaller spaces. We also took this route because we believe it is way easier to scale from a smaller to a larger space than vice versa. With these goals in mind, we created the following case studies. Here on the left side, you can see what we call floor plan A, which is a one-bedroom, 510 square feet apartment. In the middle, we have our floor plan B as a 240 square feet studio apartment. And on the right-hand side, you can see what we call floor plan C with 300 square feet. So let's take a closer look at the first case study with the 510 square feet one-bedroom apartment. In a space that small, you need to take advantage of every square inch. That's why we replaced some walls with ceiling-tall cabinets for extra storage. The living room and the kitchen only have cabinets as a room divider, but are not separated by a wall. We combine various concepts and solutions into this small space to make it as realistic as possible. We planned, designed, and built all these cabinets and furniture ourselves to incorporate all the different solutions we wanted to showcase. And now we're going to dive into the kitchen first. This is how an L-shaped kitchen could look like in an apartment that size. Base and upper cabinets combined with tall cabinets right next to them. With the right planning, a kitchen that small can still house everything needed. As you can see, we packed lots of function into these cabinets and even integrated the refrigerator and the dishwasher to give it a clean, handleless look. In this photo, you can see some more functions of the kitchen with the drawers and fronts opened. So let's take a closer look at some of the applications. I'd say we start with this upper cabinet.
This cabinet's interior space is divided to support better use of space available as shown here. The opening on the left is divided in half for storing more quantity of shorter items such as mugs. The end space is left open for taller items such as cutting boards and bottles.
For this application, we used our lift-up system, which lifts the front parallel to the cabinet. That way, you can even leave the front open while cooking without it being in your way to reach, for instance, oils or spices. This specific lift system also works great in kitchens with high ceilings, and crown molding will not be a problem because of the motion of the door. It is also an ideal solution for a countertop appliance garage. Now, let's take a closer look at the upper cabinet above.
Since this specific cabinet is installed closer to the ceiling, you could use it to store less used items. We achieved this application with our stay lift system where the front door simply pivots up. With the door pivoting up, this lift system is perfect for upper cabinets closer to the ceiling. You can even adjust the opening angle to not hit the ceiling, and it also works great when the crown molding is installed. All our lift systems can accommodate a cabinet width of up to 72 inches, which lets you use one single door to cover 2 or even 3 cabinet boxes for a clean and uninterrupted design.
I'd like to show you this narrow drawer application tucked into the corner of the kitchen. We tried to utilize the dead space you would otherwise have with this kitchen layout and incorporated a narrow pull-out solution into this cabinet. The way it works is that one runner is mounted on the top right of the cabinet and the other one is mounted diagonally offset on the bottom left of the cabinet to utilize spaces that narrow. In this cabinet solution, we used the concealed runner system. You can not only accommodate narrow spaces, but you can go as wide as 54 inches with these undermount slides and store heavy goods since it's capable of a load capacity of up to 170 pounds. The full extension provides you full access to the very back of the drawer. And now let's take a closer look at some applications we integrated into this base cabinet.
A rollout drawer can serve for trash collection. Adding dividers assists tall bottles to stay in place without falling out. Remember to cross-check plumbing product dimensions with cabinet and storage planning to ensure the rollouts work appropriately. There are different runner weight capacities available. Make sure to match your selections for your cabinet storage needs.
We solved this need with a metal drawer system. It allows you to create a functional space without sacrificing style by choosing from different materials and colors, and you can also accommodate wide and narrow cabinets. And here's a peek into another drawer.
Here you can see some practical kitchen accessories that truly tame the clutter that can quickly occur. For example, the knife holders and the foil dispenser are available to support the end user with daily tasks. Everything works together with an organization system to keep all the small utensils where they should be. Notice how a more extended opening can be better subdivided for storage needs for unusual items. No one knows how to organize a kitchen better than the person that uses it every day. Customize your combination of storage solutions with organization systems and assign space for everything to make the kitchen design work better. This storage design is clean-lined and simple. Notice how its material color matches the design of the drawer boxes. The dark gray finish of the storage solution relates beautifully to the metal drawer sides.
Since this case study has an open layout, the separation of the kitchen and the living room is done by cabinets. The dining table is integrated into these cabinets as a space-saving solution. The table is also extendable to seat more people. That works with the use of concealed runners to provide the best possible running action, as well as to give it the strength and support needed.
Storage can be designed as a room divider as shown here between the kitchen and living room. These cabinets add a great deal of flexibility to the home for multi-purpose needs long-term. For example, one cabinet could support a home office, while another cabinet stores glasses and dishes for a dining experience. Notice also how we have options for how the door operates, such as lifting straight up and by lifting out. Thinking through the function and how to engage with the storage is essential for determining the best choice.
And next, we would like to take you into the bathroom and show you how we utilized the little space we had there. We combined the bathroom and the laundry room into one single room and integrated the appliances into the cabinets to save space and also to give it a uniform look.
The medicine cabinet over the sink provides storage at eye level viewing behind a mirrored front. This was achieved with our hinges made for aluminum doors. When they are a pull-out drawer, the base cabinets have much more storage success versus having to bend over and reach inside. Looking down and accessing items without turning or twisting your body during operation is truly a benefit, especially in a small space. Imagine backing up to bend down to access the storage space below the sink behind two doors versus pull-out drawers. Opening doors is just not as easy as opening the drawers out into the room for pull-it-to-me storage. Being thoughtful about these kind of choices for your clients will make a difference for them, increasing your chances of being recommended to others who need your design talent. This space provides for laundry tasks with storage related in clever ways. Notice that the pull-out shelf is installed between the stack washer and dryer to allow for folding while standing. This same shelf can hold the laundry basket up off the floor for placing clothes easier coming out of the dryer. When we look behind the door fronts, we see interior rollouts for additional storage for tall bottles like heavy detergent and extra bulk storage. I appreciate how the interior rollout fronts give visual access to items stored inside. The back of the space is a narrow width tall pullout with a fold down shelf and a drying rack for air drying clothing items. It's really a minimal space, but with the numerous advantages because of the thoughtful storage solutions.
We didn't only focus our research and the case studies on the kitchen and the bath. We also looked at how we could utilize the available space throughout the home. Here are some design ideas for the living room we came up with. This furniture piece is what we call the office tower. It can house documents, files, a laptop, and it can also serve as a stand-up working station for wherever you might need it. All our applications can be seen individually or in combination within concepts. Since we design cabinets in a way that enables the industrial customer to process it on their production line, our setups follow a modular idea. In the end, it comes down to useful and suitable configurations of different applications. And we have another application in the living room we would like to share with you today. This design idea is a coffee table with multiple functions and lots of storage. Our focus is on ideas for solutions, and the design is secondary, since we want to keep the attention on the ideas itself and just provide inspirations for new ways to maximize storage space and functionality.
This is so inventive, Pascal. These furniture pieces look like they have a lot of unusual hardware to make the design possible, right?
Great question, Sarah. We actually built these solutions with combinations of our standard hardware, all available across the country. So all the hardware pieces should be available for you or your cabinet maker at the local distributor. And now we would like to go even smaller with the square footage and show you this case study of a 240 square feet studio apartment. This layout could also be part of a multifamily or high-rise unit in any major city. In this space, we combined the kitchen and the living room as well.
With this being such a narrow space of the three designs, we needed to make trade-offs in all areas. Notice the continuous tall storage at the top of the floor plan. This decision adds a great deal of storage flexibility while creating an open walkway. As you can see, another compromise is that the kitchen is smaller in size. Notice the table across from the kitchen sink and cooktop wall doubles as both a prep and dining space. The kitchen is very open to the entire room to ensure the space has a lighter feel and every inch of the space is protected. Walls take up floor space, so cabinetry is placed to double as storage and for room separation. Including a laundry stack in the bathroom also conserves space. We work to have a small space design with the fewest wall divisions and the most storage possible. The storage solution on the kitchen sink and cook wall is very familiar. We had a similar arrangement in the first kitchen space. Impressive how this small, same layout, scaled down in size, works well for the single kitchen wall design, which includes both the sink and the cooktop. The door will move up for the lower wall cabinets, where standing occurs for long periods, while the door on the top wall cabinets pivots up. The hardware is set to meet the lower required ceiling height. Both ways are great ideas. Just make sure to consider the door operation and the ceiling height to pick the action you prefer. Even in a kitchen space this small, there were no compromises made when it comes to workflow and ergonomics by choosing the right functional hardware. This shows a better look at how well the drawer fits under the countertop and how trash storage is held in a U-shaped under sink rollout. With the trash bins close to the work area, the waste can just be pushed into the bins without even picking it up. At the back wall, see how this narrow, tall pullout can hold a wide range of storage items. Notice the rod to hang paper towels. This small space design stores a lot of items and ensures everything is within reach.
And now, we'd like to give you a peek into this tiny bathroom as well.
This bathroom is similar to the previous home design, except even smaller. Notice we have one wide two-drawer cabinet for storage under the sink versus two-drawer cabinets. The medicine cabinet provides storage as before. With the design now even smaller, the operation and function are still a success. Storage items in the bath can be smaller scale and size and may be best lying flat versus standing up. However, items can roll into each other easily, making the interior storage space clutter. Incorporating drawer divider space, as this shows, allows for personalized storage and the type of bathroom space items that need to be stored. In this solution, two trays are positioned, centered on each side of the U-shaped drawer open area, which makes 3 compartments per side for better organized items. I also like that you can see all the items at one overall view quickly when opening the sink drawer. This example illustrates that it doesn't take a lot of extra parts and pieces to provide convenient storage. And now, Pascal, will you tell us a little bit more about our latest project?
Thank you, Sarah. Right now, we're working to integrate a case study into our showroom here in the US that will be part of our facility in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our goal is to talk to customers about different applications and solutions and have in-depth discussions about each of them. This 300 square feet case study is going to be completed in the next few months and can be visited by appointment. As you can see here, we have a fully equipped kitchen and bathroom, a dining table, and a bed as well as a couch. We utilize tall pantry cabinets that serve double function as wall to the bathroom to make the most out of the space.
I like how the room is divided with tall cabinet storage as you enter. The access to the storage is in the bedroom, but the back of the tall cabinets is finished smooth to appear as a hallway. You will see a similar installation for the bath space, which can even include a washer and dryer unit. This kind of installation saves space in not needing walls built to take up room. The kitchen, dining, lounge area takes up almost half the space while offering a lot of living flexibility since they are not rooms with walls. How clever to take this small space and provide a storage base for the television to sit upon that you simply rotate to where you are in the space. One storage cabinet, one TV for 2 rooms, viewed in the living room and in the bedroom. Smart. Pascal, let's take a look at this floor plan.
Here you can see how the design will look like. As we get a glimpse into the kitchen, I'd like to mention that in a space that small, you're still able to incorporate all the appliances needed, like a full-size dishwasher, a standard-size cooktop, a tall refrigerator, and a small oven-microwave combination, just with the right planning and layout. Having the dining table so close to the kitchen provides additional work area if needed, and it can serve as an extension of your countertop space. The table can also be extended and seats up to 6 people.
And even the couch in the background features additional storage drawers underneath the seating as a lounging area.
And here is another angle of the kitchen and the living room again. If we take a look at the backside of the bench, we can see it features 3 separate functions as it houses additional storage, as well as serves as a divider between dining and living room.
Here you get a look into the hallway and the bedroom. Tall cabinets are used to replace wall between the hallway and the bedroom. This cabinet room divider doubles as the closet. It's not possible to have a standard walk-in closet since the space is so small. The wall of the tall cabinet provides enough storage for bedding, clothes, and shoes. So Pascal, this design looks pretty clean-lined overall. I don't see a lot of cabinets as we normally would. Tell us how many functions are in this space in total.
To maximize the space available, we incorporated as many storage solutions as possible. We packed 58 drawers and pull-out combinations, 12 lift systems, and 8 hinge doors into this design.
That's amazing. You would not know this kind of storage support is included in the design until you actually worked in the space. I also love the clean lines of the design overall. And now we would like to show you additional functional hardware cabinet solutions that make living at home easier. All these solutions mentioned today can be used in spaces for any size and are not only designed for small spaces. From my work experience, I know clients love to have their storage pull out to them. This shows an excellent solution that is stylish with gray metal drawers and very functional too. Having the interior rollouts with open spacing allows visibility to see which drawer you want to pull out. The open spaces creates an easy-to-operate grab bar. In this kind of solution, you can store taller and shorter items.
This application shows a corner cabinet for a L or U-shaped kitchen. With this solution, you can reach all the storage goods in this cabinet and access everything with just one pull off the front, compared to having a hinge door or another application tucked behind the door.
What you see here is another narrow pull-out solution. You can use it at the end of an island or in between larger cabinets to provide a wide range of storage options, such as for baking trays or spices or whatever you might need closest to you while cooking.
And here is another example of a sink drawer. Narrow metal drawers combined with organization systems to use every inch of the space available. The organization system also helps to keep the storage goods in place so they don't tip over when you open or close the drawer.
Pascal, When I see all of these great ideas that come from our research, the case study experiences, and these individual solutions you just shared, it makes me think back to the installer, the cabinet maker who builds the design for us. Not all cabinetry manufacturers will offer these innovative solutions for a designer to simply drag and drop the solution into their floor plan. If our designers don't have a cabinet manufacturer with offerings such as these to solve their small space design, what can they do to make their designs inspirations possible? To be able to turn their ideas into a real solution that their client can have.
Having resources is key. We know of designers across the globe that run into this at times. And I hear some designers like to integrate unique aspects into their designs to separate themselves from their competition. To elevate their design, they have developed partnerships with local sources to build, install, or retrofit their standard products with functional hardware. This helps to improve the function of the design, which is so important when it comes to small space design. Just every inch matters in a small space.
I can see the need for this kind of partnership. To meet a small space design, you might need your design inspiration to include non-standard cabinetry, or a cabinet maker as a partner to create new solutions from standard parts. Whether your design inspiration is custom built or configured from standard parts you already have available, working with your cabinet builder or installer who will pull this together at the job site is essential. Partnerships are vital to creating any design. For small space designs that call for clever design ideas, partnerships can make all the difference for success. Working with defined skill sets and those with specific knowledge to meet your design needs can be the key ingredients. Proving design that solve your client's pain points can elevate you as a designer in your local market. So you become the go-to source for designs that are not as price constrained.
Any ideas on how to find this kind of relationship, Sarah?
Yes, I'd start with a drawing. It can be a sketch to be inspiring or an actually 3D computer-generated drawing. At the very least, have a sketch with notes or callouts to define the completed solution. Look for partners who are thinkers, engineering-minded to a hands-on craftsman who easily thinks about building something before they begin. Chip and Joanna Gaines from the show Fixer Upper would go see Clint Harp, a separate professional from their work who specialized in creating and building unique solutions for their inspiration shared. It's ideal if your partner is well connected and can bring in additional skills as services to meet a request if they cannot do a portion of the idea. That way, they will be more free-flowing and solution-oriented for you. It's essential to set yourself up for success. I prefer to set a face-to-face or video call meeting to bounce off ideas with each other. You will increase your success probability if you set an official meeting with quality time and space for the conference itself. Present your ideas with that drawing I mentioned before. Be clear of what you need to solve while also being realistic. It's helpful if you can offer a budget range to guide their investment for their time and their resources. Giving them understanding of the style, the look, the feel is helpful. The most important detail is the functional goal. For example, what will the experience be when using the product? Sharing these kind of details matter and defines the end in mind. Before you leave the meeting, make sure you have set your next meeting appointment. Don't leave things undone or open-ended. The more precise you can be and have a mutually agreed upon expectation up front with clear timing, the better. You will have less errors or misses with your project, especially when creating something non-standard. Then let them work on it. Give them the time they need. When it's time to show you their ideas, then also let them present them back to you their way. Ideally, you will receive even better ideas than you would think of on your own. Thus, let your selected partner solve your needs with their expertise to free you up to be a better project manager to win the sale overall. So now you're ready to sell your design. it's important to engage all stakeholders. You know, those individuals who will make the decisions, and especially those who might derail the project. It's important to get everyone on the same page. You might even want the craftsman to join you with your client to present the idea and answer any questions. Just have a pre-meeting with your cabinet builder or installer beforehand to ensure you both are aligned. You can meet in their space or have them come to your area. Both can work. Just make an intentional plan. Have your presentation materials complete and ready to share. You can show a simple sketch to a final drawing with a price. Either way, have what you need to manage expectations and set yourself up for success. If you have drawings of multiple storage solutions that need to be built, then remember to relate them to the floor plan overall location so your clients can stay engaged and follow up with your leadership. Don't forget to explain to your clients what their experience will be with this kind of idea to add value and meaning. Decide if you need prototypes or samples of the materials in the design. For example, having a sample they can operate will reassure them about the quality of your idea. Doing this extra little bit will elevate you from your competition. You will stand out by taking the time and giving their needs time and consideration. What client won't appreciate this kind of attention? Keep the presentation collaborative. Having some two-way conversation allows your client to be a part of the design process. If you need a period of time to just roll with the presentation, just let them know up front so they stay at your desired pace. I know, easier said than done. It can be hard to have an excited client who is ready to be in their completed space to follow your lead. I get it. Expect to be asked about the money. Your client will likely ask, what will this cost? You may not have to have all those costs buttoned up at this meeting, but they will ask sooner than later, so plan to have a response that is reassuring. Also be prepared with some sort of timeline to provide so you don't lose momentum from their interests. Offering a range of costs could allow you to gauge their reaction. You'll know, just be intentional.
And with all that being said, I'd like to bring it all together and sum up what we learned about today. We discussed small space design and the challenges, but also the opportunities that come with a small space. We talked about the key sources and the process for design trend findings and why small space design can affect all of us. We heard about the advantages of the proper use of functional hardware and how to create space-saving solutions. We reviewed space planning for small spaces and ways to maximize the space with multifunctional ideas. We talked about how to utilize your resources to build your own design inspirations. And finally, we talked about what it takes to win the sales. Ideally, that makes you a go-to source with all the right resources for solving design inspirations. And that leads us to our ask of you today. Our ask for winning small space design with functional hardware would be: reach out to your local rep who can provide literature or information to all the hardware, including all the specifications, and can help you find the right hardware for your next job. You can also discuss samples and try the hardware yourselves for a hands-on approach. Talk to your local craftsman or partner to elevate your design. Build or strengthen a partnership, and both of you will benefit from it. Market your expertise and consider expanding your client base now equipped with small space design inspirations. Improve your design reputation by being solution-based. And observe small spaces and just keep learning.
Ideally, with completing this learning, you can market yourself as an expert in small space design and for solving design inspirations with functional hardware. Pascal and I want you to be successful, and we are here to help you connect the dots with design. Debbie, we can turn it back to you to let us know if there's any questions or specifics we can discuss with the attendees.
We will be happy to answer them.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Pascal and Sarah, for that really interesting presentation. And I've been collecting questions, and we have over a dozen of them, so let me get started. And I just want to make sure out in the audience that you're not hearing any feedback like we were earlier, so let me know if you do. And so here we go. Can the hardware for the table that you showed early on be used on an island, and how would that store into the island?
So basically, the hardware can be used in an island. It's the same runner as you would use in a cabinet. You just need basically to have a base that is tall enough or as tall as the runner itself to basically hide the runner underneath it. I hope that makes sense.
Well,
Okay.
and locally, they could reach out to their representative to be able to connect those dots, maybe even face to face.
Exactly.
Okay. And so you were talking earlier for the under sink drawer that you showed, can you customize the design because the plumbing is not always in the same area, or are there options for the design?
Of course, there are options for the design. It's a couple of different ways you can actually make it. You can just make it with one left and right drawer side, or you can actually add shorter drawer sides in between it. So basically gives you the U-shaped cutout in the bottom, which leaves you room for the plumbing behind it. So there are lots of options, and they should be actually all in our brochure.
Okay. And so someone was asking how to find a local rep because they're not quite clear on that.
If you're not quite sure about that, you can just send me an email after the meeting or the webinar, and I'll just connect you with your local rep.
Okay, that sounds good. So here's another one. I'd like to learn how to do designs like you showed with functional hardware, and I don't have the technical knowledge, and making mistakes are costly. Do you have any suggestions for how I can get the experience I need to not make expensive mistakes?
I mean, that basically leads back to what we already said earlier. Just reach out to your local rep. We have them all over the country, and maybe you can set up a lunch and learn type meeting with them, or even with you and your whole team. Or our sales reps just have so much knowledge, and they can really help you. Just reach out to them and let them know you're interested and need help.
Okay, great, thank you. And then someone was asking about, are there other styles than what you've shown? They said this looks very utilitarian.
Of course, there are other styles. You can use the style you want. So we really wanted to focus on the solutions, and we didn't want it to give it different colors and materials and styles. So you can really build what you want to.
And I agree with that, Pascal. As a designer, I mean, looking at the details is one thing, but really it's making the door style, finish, the color of any project can be pulled together of a very good functioning, beautiful design. So don't feel limited that this is only for contemporary looks.
Okay.
Yeah, just what I just want to add something that Sarah said here. So yeah, we built everything with frameless cabinetry, but of course you can use face frame on that. Our intention with the frameless cabinetry was just that you actually save a little bit of space when you don't have the face frame around the cabinet. That's why we stuck with frameless for all the designs we showed.
Okay, great, thank you. Here's another one. I live in a more rural area, far from the urban density you are referencing. So what can I look for in my area to be able to market a small space design?
You know, being able to design for small space design needs will be essential across the U.S. for many years to come. That's my thought, and I know, Pascal, from your research, you're also agreeing. Smaller footprint housing will be encouraged with land prices, housing costs, changes with lifestyle to even life stage, with the desire to live closer by services for ease. All of these factors will play in a part as to why small space design will be needed. You know, most consumers love good design, especially now. There's so much exposure to good design. So all the ideas we shared today can be applied to a wide range of project sizes and, as we said before, styles. The webinar was focused on small space design, but really every idea we shared can work in a small or large space. And more important message is about optimizing space through design thinking. Our clients, by getting good design, they need us to be ready to design with them for flexible living with designs that solve more than one purpose.
Okay. So someone was asking, they said that they really liked the office tower that you showed early on, and they were wondering, this is sort of a two-point question here. They're wondering how easy it is for a wheelchaired person to roll around. And in addition, you also showed the pull-out dining table, also wondering how easy is it for a wheelchair wheelchaired person to roll around or to pull that table out with someone that's in a wheelchair?
Hmm. That's a good question. So let me answer the table first. The table, basically, you need the same force to pull the table out than you would do if you open a drawer in a cabinet. So there's no difference to you need to pull harder or something. So if you can open a drawer in a cabinet, you can also extend the table there. And I think with the office tower, it just depends what kind of wheels you're using, or even if you're making it stationary. So I mean, it really depends on what hardware you're using for when it comes to wheels and rolling it around.
And with individuals who are seated, even if they're not in a wheelchair but need to sit more, drawers with full extension and those kind of things that pull out are so important in design versus doors where they have to move in and out. A lot of these ideas would be great for people who have limitations in how they have to access and grab.
Okay, and so there's sort of a similar question. Are you developing solutions specifically for those with disabilities?
Also, another good question. So we are actually looking into that as well. We didn't pack it into these case studies, but that's another topic we're actually looking into, and you might soon see something from us coming into that direction. So I think
Okay.
I'll leave it at that for now.
Okay. So someone was asking, does Bloom actually design or do the kitchen or the cabinets? I'm trying to. I think they're trying to.
We are the
figure that out.
ingredient. We are the ingredient to the cabinet. We do make cabinets ourselves back home as we're exploring and prototyping, and you'll see them when we travel, well, certainly. But we're that important ingredient to make the cabinets and the kitchen and bath function and work well. Pascal, do you have anything different to share or add?
I mean, I can just reinforce what you said. I mean, we're not making the cabinets. The only cabinets we're building are either for like prototypes that you just said or for our trade shows.
Yeah. And sometimes you do need an outside resource like a shop, maybe out in a rural area or a industrial park where they are used to tinkering with parts and pieces. And I know designers across the U.S. oftentimes will have that resource to even go along with manufactured cabinets to solve the pain points and needs of the consumer and their clients.
Okay. So someone's asking about are your pullouts adaptable in stainless steel cabinets for outdoor kitchens, like under a roof, but exposed to the outdoor elements?
I mean, I think it's. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with that. I think our hardware is not really designed to be outdoors, but if you have it under a roof, I'm sure you can use it there too. It just shouldn't be exposed to the rain or the elements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you talked about the cabinetry and the lift, and so can the lift stay up and be left opened at the same time without colliding? The lift up and stay up be left opened at the same time without colliding.
So you can try it. It doesn't really work in the way we showed it, but there's actually a function so you can block either the top or the bottom front so they're not going to hit each other if you touch both at the same time, or one is open and you want to activate the other one. So you can actually prevent them from colliding with an option. So we don't really recommend that you do it at the same time because otherwise you will just damage your fronts.
Okay, understood. So does Bloom have pocket door hardware?
We do kind of. So we internationally presented that at the Inner Zoom last year in Germany. And yeah, that's something we're going to sell. We're not selling it yet, and I don't know when we're selling it in this market, but that's something we're working on, and we already showed it to the public the first time.
Okay, good to know. Is there a minimum narrow drawer dimension for the pull-out drawers and doors that you were talking about?
Yes, there's a minimal dimension. I don't have it at the top of my head. I think it's about 4 inches inside cabinet width or 3.5. It's something like that, but that's definitely something you can find in the brochure.
Okay.
And a rep could help you, a Bloom rep.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Which sink drawer pull-out model numbers are appropriate for ADA kitchen and bath that allows knee space This person is designing and specifying for ADA guest units, which is a hospitality project.
Boy, I'd like to take that one, Pascal. That is something that changes all the time because new products come out. And I know there are things out there that are being developed and increasing due to that kind of a need. I'm recommending that you really work with a plumbing specialist along with your cabinet knowledge. They will know things that maybe they don't even have in the warehouse, in their showroom, that they can help you link those kind of needs. They're being asked for it. They may not just show it in the showroom and feature it, but I think that would be the most efficient way and to get it accurately because they would know of new products that maybe none of us know about today.
Okay. Someone's asking about the push to open wasn't covered. Are there any new updates on manual or electronic assists with that?
There's not really a new update. I mean, all we can say is we basically used all our server drives, so the electronical system in all the case studies, just to be able to, as we said earlier, to actually prevent the fronts from colliding. If you have an L-shaped kitchen, as you can see on this background picture, you don't want to hit the fronts underneath the sink with the refrigerator, which is left to it. So we don't really have an update on that. It's just we used our standard hardware and nothing really special in there for now.
But as we develop more events and get out in the marketplace more, and that'll be some of the things I'll be doing, we are very much interested in your ideas. What do you need? We're excited to be able to do this more in the United States and with Pascal's leadership and to be able to connect our thinking with Global Bloom and Global Bloom back to us here. So it's going to be really exciting, a lot of opportunities for all of us in design.
That sounds exciting. So I have a couple more questions and then we'll wrap. You mentioned that walls take up space. They also house important plumbing, HVAC, and electric. And I think you kind of answered this before, but I'm curious how you might provide access to electrical receptacles while maintaining flexibility.
So the way we made it in this spaces, we basically hit the electrical on top of the cabinet.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's of course you need to take that into account if you replace a wall with tall cabinets. You need to have the plumbing in there. You need to have the electrical outlets or something in there. So that's, yeah, I think it requires a lot of planning before you can just simply replace a wall with cabinets.
Okay. This person says they have an architecture and interior design students that are designing a small cabin from a storage container. Can these cabinets be locked if the cabin is mobile or placed on a trailer?
Okay, so the question goes to while it's in transport, I guess?
I think so, because if you can imagine, if you've got something moving on a trailer, drawers are opening, doors are opening and closing. So they're wondering if they can be locked, if there are locks available to lock the cabinetry.
Pascal,
Yes.
we don't offer locks, do we?
I mean, we do, but not in our market. If we see it on an international scale, we produce locks, but we don't offer it in the US market.
Okay.
So my recommendation would be the way we ship cabinets, basically just use the tape and tape the front to the cabinet so it doesn't open itself. That's what we usually do. And that works pretty good.
I've had that experience also with traveling trade shows that you wrap them or hold them all together, even so it doesn't come out and open. Great question.
Good. So Pascal, what is another trend that you will be exploring next with your global team members?
That's a good question. Of course, that's a little bit of a secret, but I can give you some insights. We're very excited to share our new designs this coming February at KBIS in Orlando, Florida. Both Sarah and I hope you can come by and see for yourselves. Come to visit us to experience new ideas that will ideally inspire your designs. And as a longer view, I'm personally intrigued with product designs that assist us in living easier. I'll just leave it at that for now.
Oh, okay, great. And then someone just wanted to make a comment. They said this was inspiring. There were great storage solutions that you presented for her clients and for her. She says, I want it all.
Thank you.
See, I wonder if we could, Pascal, don't you have a way that people could actually come visit this apartment?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the midst of installing it. So I'm actually sitting in the space right now to get into the right mindset for the webinar. But we're going to be done with the installation and everything in a couple of months, and people can come by and actually, walk the apartment and feel it and try all the different solutions themselves. So if you're interested in that, just shoot me an email and we can make an appointment for that. So I would be happy to guide you around.
Okay, so and that brings up a point. There are some people been asking for your email. Is it okay if I provide that to them in our follow-up?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. And
Yes.
actually, when we go to our next slide, we already have the email in there.
Ah, there we go.
So
That's great. Well, I want to thank Bloom for their generous sponsorship for today's session and all of our webinars this month. I want to thank you, Pascal, and Sarah, of course, and once again, congratulations to you, Sarah, and all of you for joining us today. This has been really, really interesting, and I know we've been able to keep almost everybody for the Q&A as we usually do. So this is a great presentation, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thank
you,
you, Judy.
everyone.
And as we said, yeah, just reach out to us or find us on social media by searching Bloom Inc. for new ideas or inspirations and news on events going on inside Bloom. And maybe also reach out to us or to me and make an appointment. I would be happy to guide you around.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.